Here.
This is the scheduled regular meeting of the Board of Commissioners as advertised in the annual notice published in the Bergen Record and Star Ledger in accordance with Public Law 1975 and Chapter 231. Notice of this meeting has been posted on our municipal website and on the bulletin board in the municipal building and filed in the office of the municipal clerk. We have a motion to have the scheduled bills be referred and sent to the Revenue and Finance Department for payments.
Motion made.
Second.
Second.
Commissioner Montillo.
Four.
Commissioner DiMaggio. Four. Commissioner Jarvis.
Four.
Mayor Giudice.
Four.
May I have a motion to approve the meeting minutes of July 20, 2017? Motion?
Motion
Second.
Second.
Commissioner Montillo.
Four.
Commissioner DiMaggio.
Four.
Commissioner Jarvis.
Four.
Mayor Giudice.
Four.
May I have a motion to dispense with the regular order of business for presentations by the American Legion and the VFW? Motion?
Motion. Second.
Commissioner Montillo.
Four.
Commissioner DiMaggio. Four. Commissioner Jarvis.
Four.
Mayor Giudice.
Four.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Tom Witt. I'm the past commander and the current Americanism chairperson of the American Legion Post 139 here in Lyndhurst. I'd like to first of all thank the mayor and the board of commissioners for allowing me to make a presentation. Each year, the American Legion, among other civic awards, recognizes our law enforcement officer of the year. And back on June 17th, despite the fact that K&K Trophy insisted it was June 20th, Captain. In any event, back on June 17th, the American Legion had its Americanism Awards presentation, and at that time, among the presentations made was the law enforcement officer, who, among several rescues in town, one of which involved diving into the murky, muddy waters of the Passaic River to make a rescue. Not only did he save a life there, but I understand he pulled out a 12-pound trout, which I think is about. Makes him also the most interesting man in the world, I guess. And in another instance, he came to the rescue of the American Legion for sure when he recovered stolen property. It was funds, not that much money monetarily speaking, but there were application fees, quite a few, with very personal information on those applications. And for sure, saved the American Legion embarrassment and probably from identity theft standpoint, probably saved people involved, those who had the applications stolen, saved them a lot of grief. So I didn't get a chance back on June 17th to present this in front of his family because among the other things that Captain Carrino does, very involved in volunteer work, as most of us here know. And as a matter of fact, the day of the awards presentation, Captain Carrino was nice enough to bring the group that he currently coaches, which is the Special Angels. Is that right, Captain? Right? Got that right. But unfortunately, that day, his wife and two daughters and son Michael were not able to attend because, guess what? They're doing volunteer work as Captain Carrino does so much. But in any event, I'm glad that his wife Karen, Caleb, Michael are here. Gianna, unfortunately, is working, is up the daughter, can't be with us, but I think most award winners will always tell you that their success for their achievement extends well beyond their own personal endeavors. It's that at the backing of the family that allows them to do the heroic things that they do, flexibility and so forth. So at this time, it's really my pleasure again to present to you the American Legion Law Enforcement Officer of the Year, Captain Michael Carrino.
Okay, don't get too comfortable. The Veterans of Foreign Wars, we're an older group, mainly Vietnam vets. We have some Afghanistan vets. But when we need help around the post, Michael, his son, and even his little daughter have responded to help us. We had graffiti on our building one time. Mike was working midnights. He showed up the next morning with his son and daughter to scrub, take the graffiti off the building. We needed our flagpole painted. Mike and his son showed up again. This is going back a period of years. Recently we had problems with the roof. Mike's up on the roof, working on the roof. Whenever we need help, the members and the commissioner should be very proud of his men, very proud. The dedication they show this town off duty, they don't get any compensation. It's out of the goodness of their heart giving back to the town. In addition to everything Mike has done, we have another officer, Lieutenant Richard Jarvis, who unfortunately can't be with us tonight. He's out of the country. But he is another officer that gives back. Over a period of years, we've had floods, pipes have burst. Sometimes it was late at night. We call him up, he comes. Supplies the equipment, does everything. These are the kind of men that represent you on the street, and I think they do a fantastic job. So, the Veterans of Foreign Wars would like to acknowledge Lieutenant Carrino. And we're lucky we have the mother, and actually the father, of this other officer, Amy Jarvis. Can you come up, represent your son, Mike? Mayor and Commissioner, you've got a fantastic department.
I know that.
Okay, thank you.
No video, no picture?
We don't have
No
a camera.
pun intended.
We have a camera. Amy. Tom. Come on up. Department of Public Safety.
You got a meeting?
Let Karen take it, she'll share.
Hey, come on.
Okay, good.
Yeah. May I have a motion to resume the regular order of business? Second. Commissioner Montillo?
Four.
Commissioner Maggio? Commissioner Jarvis? Mayor Jennings? Following ordinances are for public hearing. Ordinance number 296817, an ordinance amending ordinance number 288813, and further amending Chapter 2 Administrative Code of the Revised General Ordinances of the Township of Lyndhurst to establish the office of the Township Attorney in the Township of Lyndhurst. May I have a motion to open public hearing on ordinance number 296817? Motion? Second. Commissioner Montillo?
Four.
Commissioner Maggio? Commissioner Jarvis? Mayor Jennings? Any comments? So we have to name this one,
What is the difference between this ordinance and the ordinance that was already in place?
So,
What is the difference between this ordinance and the ordinance that was in place in the last term?
I don't see any difference, except that we have a different town attorney right now. New town
So
attorney.
when he was an employee and did shared services, so that would be a difference? Or is he going to be shared service attorney or
That would
like?
be shared services, correct, Mr. Levy?
That's correct.
So then you're an employee of your township.
I'm an independent contractor on an hourly basis. The ordinance that was in place, that was created 4 or 5 years ago by former Mayor DeLacio, created the opportunity to be an employee under certain circumstances. It also provided that the employee could accrue pension benefits. What we did in this ordinance was change the two things, that the township attorney is now in the Department of Public Safety as opposed to the department it was in. And secondly, at the suggestion and recommendation of Commissioner Montillo, we excised any reference to the ability to accrue pension benefits. That's the ordinance. And I will serve under a legal services contract as an independent contractor on an hourly basis, based upon my timesheets and my work and my attendance in town hall, at the meetings, and for all the other work we do.
And you will be logging your hours and all that kind of
Well,
stuff.
you can come and visit me anytime you want, Tuesdays and Thursdays, and you can come up to my office and see that we put in quite a substantial work week.
Well, let me ask you this, being that you're the town attorney now, is a little conflict of interest the fact that you are part of the lawsuit that you're suing the school board of Lyndhurst?
I don't think you understand what you're saying. We're not suing the school board. Why would we sue?
No, but
our school board?
you're representing someone who is suing the Lyndhurst school board. You're representing, is that a conflict of interest on your part to exclude yourself from anything that the school board does?
Madam, I don't know what you're talking about. I don't represent anybody in any suit against the school board.
Don't you represent Tracy Marinello?
Boy, are you way out of orbit. Tracy Marinelli was the former superintendent of schools, and I represented her interest in her exit from the employment, and she hasn't been associated with the school board for over 2 years. I don't even know what you're talking about. There
Is
was
her
no
lawsuit still
litigation.
going on?
Of course not.
Her lawsuit is settled.
There's no settlement. There was a separation, and there's been no lawsuit.
There's no lawsuit. So I guess when I read it in the newspapers, it's false.
I don't even know what you read.
You kidding me?
I don't kid around.
Whatever. But if I find out that it's still like the lawsuit is pending,
What do you mean if you find out?
I mean, I
just
don't know if it
explained
got
to you.
settled or not. That was my thing. But I would
just-
just think it would be a conflict of interest. I'm just asking you if it would be a conflict of interest if you are representing somebody that is suing the Lyndhurst School Board, knowing that you are a town attorney here. That's my question.
Preposterous. I don't represent anybody litigating on any level against the school board now or even past.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Any other comments?
Any comments? None?
May I have a motion to close the public hearing and adopt ordinance number 296817 on second and final reading? Motion?
Motion made.
Second? Commissioner Montillo?
Four.
Commissioner DiMaggio?
Four.
Commissioner Jarvis?
Four.
Mayor Juniorson?
Four.
Ordinance number 296917, an ordinance to amend Chapter 7 Traffic of the revised general ordinances of the Township of Lyndhurst, Schedule 9A, handicap parking on streets so as to remove spaces at designated locations. May I have a motion to open public hearing on ordinance number 296917? Motion?
Motion made.
Second? Commissioner Montillo?
Four.
Commissioner DiMaggio?
Four.
Commissioner Jarvis? Mayor Juniorson?
Four.
Are there any comments? Hearing none, may I have a motion to close the public hearing and adopt ordinance number 296917 on second and final reading? Motion? Second.
I'll second.
Commissioner Montillo? Commissioner DiMaggio? Commissioner Jarvis? Mayor Andrews?
Four.
The following ordinances are for introduction. Ordinance number 297017, an ordinance amending Chapter 2 entitled Administration, Section 2-2.4 entitled Rules for Decorum for Conduct of Public Meetings of the Revised General Ordinances of the Township of Lyndhurst to add new subsection 2-2.4F entitled Videotaping of Township Board of Commissioners meetings by members of the public. Ordinance number 297017 was read and considered on introduction. May I have a motion to adopt ordinance number 297017 on introduction? Motion? Second. Commissioner Montillo?
No.
Commissioner DiMaggio?
Four.
Commissioner Jarvis? Mayor Andrews?
Four.
Ordinance number 297017 was read and considered on first reading. May I have a motion to set the public hearing for September 13th at 6 p.m.? Motion? Second. Commissioner Montillo?
No, but I do just want to say I am in favor of this board videotaping and putting our meetings on our website, but I don't think that there should be any restrictions.
Commissioner DiMaggio? Commissioner Jarvis? Mayor Andrews?
Four.
Ordinance number 297117, an ordinance establishing annual salaries and hourly rates to be paid to certain employees of the Township of Lyndhurst not belonging to a collective bargaining unit, and amending ordinance number 293216. Ordinance number 297117 will be tabled until the September Board of Commissioners meeting. May I have a motion to table it until September? Second. Okay. Commissioner Montillo?
Four.
Commissioner DiMaggio? Commissioner Jarvis? Mayor Andrews?
Four.
May I have a motion to open the meeting to public comment on agenda items? Motion.
Second.
Commissioner Montillo?
Four.
Commissioner DiMaggio? Commissioner Jarvis? Mayor Andrews?
Four.
Any comments on agenda items?
I noticed it says township attorney, sir, what is your name? Your township attorney, what is your name? Are you 11?
My name is Carmine
Okay, just want that on. Could you explain number 1, please? Resolution to comply with the court order remand to correct the violations. Could you explain what that resolution is?
Yes, there was a litigation that was filed in April of 2016, alleging, amongst other things, violation of the Open Public Meetings Act in the adoption of the shared services agreement that's dated April 1, 2016. As a result of the litigation and negotiations amongst the parties, a settlement was reached and a consent order was entered by Judge Fisher of the Superior Court in June of this year, and in furtherance of that consent order, we are directed that the shared services agreement resolution and the agreement come back to us. That's what remand is, a remand back to the Board of Commissioners to rescind, and then if we choose, we can re-adopt. Of course, the judge cannot order us to re-adopt anything, but they can remand it for corrective action. Tonight, there are 3 resolutions. This is to rescind the resolution and the shared service agreement from last year. The second resolution will be to adopt the resolution to authorize, and then the shared service agreement is item number 3. All in conformance with the court-ordered agreement.
Okay, so I was going to ask you, was number 2 remand? So,
Right, so in other words, we retract from what happened last April, and then we go forward, and hopefully tonight, I don't know, but I assume that the Board of Commissioners will adopt the appropriate resolutions, and like the school board did last week, we now vote the school board and board of commissioners are moving forward briskly with the new middle school program.
So number 2 then is the actual agreement.
Now, that's the resolution to authorize the agreement, and number 3 is the agreement.
And number 3 is what, the actual shared service agreement.
Correct.
Now, what number 3 is the shared service agreement isn't for the school, it's before and after school program. So there's no agreement then for
Oh, I'm sorry.
the schools?
I'm sorry, I misspoke. Number 2 is the authorizing resolution and the shared service agreement. Number 3 is the before and after shared agreement. So the core agreement is items number 1 and 2.
So number 2, so you're adopting then the shares agreement of building the school and spending over $50 million. Is that what that means on number 2?
Well, there is already a bond ordinance in place, so that was adopted last year. It's a $50 million bond ordinance. Yes.
So you still have to vote on that yet?
No, the bond ordinance has already been voted upon. It's already, we haven't drawn the money, but the bond ordinance is in place.
Okay, but if you rescinded it, then wouldn't you be rescinding what was in that agreement of the $50 million too? And you have to redo it?
Shared services agreement is different than the bond ordinance. The bond ordinance is intact. Remains intact.
Okay, number 5. Certifying the members of my review the annual report of the audit will comply with the recommendations.
Yes.
You want to read number 8? What is that?
I'm sorry, did you have a question on number 5?
No, I don't think it was in the papers that I printed. But you follow the rules of what your auditor said. Everybody was in agreement?
We do follow the rules, yes.
Huh?
We do follow the rules, we're in agreement to comply with the laws.
That's why when my first meeting, I gave you copies of the laws, so. Number 8, award the contract response request for proposal of the special counsel property maintenance and code enforcement. Is that being paid? Is it have hourly rate? Like, what is that?
I believe it's $125 an hour hourly rate, and they have to account for their billing that's to be awarded tonight.
And what does the code enforcement do?
They support the property maintenance and the building department in reviewing the ordinances and codes, issuing letters to property owners that are in violation, and assist the property management and the building department in enforcement and giving them the legal support that they need.
Okay, and number 10, you added on, it was on the website, was establishing a 401A special pay plan for accumulated sick and other compensated time balances. What is that?
Our esteemed CFO, Mr. Bentley, evaluated the need for this and suggested that we place this on the agenda for action at this time.
What is it?
That's Mr. Bentley.
Is it okay? And the city raised 8 points on the taxes.
One question at a time.
Under there.
I have a little statement for as far as the tax goes.
The 421A plan is similar to an IRA. It allows in the last 3 years of an employee's term prior to retirement that they place the sick, vacation, overtime balances into a special escrow, similar to IRA. We then, as the employer, will not pay Social Security tax, so we save 7.65%. And any time balances that are compensated or paid to an employee. That's what a 421 plan does.
I thought the state did away with that.
It's not a state issue, it's a federal government issue.
I federal government.
It's Internal Revenue Code, section 421, subsection A.
So accumulated time then is going to go into an account for each individual employee of the town?
Right, just as it's been for the last 44, 45 years.
And they receive it upon their retirement?
Yes.
Okay. Any other questions or comments?
Any other comments?
Monosola.
Name and address, please.
Monosola, 474 Valley Brook Avenue, Lyndhurst, New Jersey. Now, one comment, some of the commissioners and the board members don't speak directly into the microphone, so the audibility is slightly poor, so I request that everybody speak closer to the microphone. And my next is a question to you, sir. You have modified the rules about video recording by citizens to quite an extent and in good manner. But still you have imposed certain restrictions which don't really make sense. For example, the 1 hour prior permission requirement, that is going to pose a problem.
Well, you notice I took out the word written notice. So a verbal notice, a phone call, you can do an email, but a phone call, so that we can make sure that the room is available and everything is in place.
See, it just says video recording. Now, video recording is a very wide term. When somebody uses a smartphone camera, which they bring in their pocket, that's also a video recorder. So, if suppose somebody starts recording and they're not taking prior permission, what is going to happen to them?
We just said prior notice, it's for the tripods and equipment of that nature.
So it does not apply to smartphones and small handheld cameras?
Listen, how can we enforce something?
So, isn't that discrimination between two types of cameras?
I could, it's not discrimination.
I mean,
You
different
can't
rules for.
discriminate against an inanimate object. However, again, with common sense, if somebody has a handheld device, whether there are 1 people, 2 people, 20 people, that's something else. If you understand and you know, we're talking about tripods and equipment and things of that nature. Make sure the room
No, I
is properly
understand,
set.
but it's not clarified in the rule that this specifies to a tripod or a larger camera. It just says prior permission required.
As you know, when you've made comments in the past, I've listened to you.
I agree.
And I've accepted some of your suggestions, so I'm listening to you. This is introduction only, not adoption.
No, I'm just questioning.
I'm trying to tell you that we are listening to you, and we will absorb your comments.
And the other question is, what is the reasoning behind trying to seek permission?
I'm sorry, I can't understand.
What is the reason to seek permission? Is there going to be certain grounds on which permission will be denied?
I have to check the text. I think it's notification. I think the word is notification.
Notification, sir.
I don't think it's permission.
Okay.
There is a big distinction. You would agree. I think we use the word notification. If not, I'll look at the text and check it out.
Okay, then why is there a requirement for notification?
I thought I just explained to make sure the room is available and that there are no safety issues. That's all.
Thank you.
Questions? Comments?
Motion to close the meeting to public comment on agenda items. Motion,
Second.
Commissioner Montillo,
For.
Commissioner DiMaggio,
For.
Commissioner Jarvis, Mayor Gentles. Resolution number 1, a resolution to comply with court-ordered remand to correct a violation of the Public Meetings Act, whereby rescinding the resolution authorizing the shared services agreement with the Lyndhurst School District for the construction of the high school facilities improvement program and replacement of Lincoln School. May I have a motion to adopt resolution number 1? Second, Commissioner Montillo.
I'm for, but I don't agree that the wording is proper. To correct the violation, never did the judge turn around and say that in the settlement agreement that we violated the Open Public Meetings Act, but I am looking to move this thing forward. I'm for.
Commissioner DiMaggio. Commissioner Jarvis. Mayor Gentles. Resolution number 2, authorizing a shared services agreement with the Lyndhurst School District for the construction management of the high school facilities improvement program and the replacement of Lincoln School. May I have a motion to adopt resolution number 2?
I'll make a motion.
Second, Commissioner Montillo.
For.
Commissioner DiMaggio. Commissioner Jarvis. Mayor Gentles. Resolution number 3, authorizing a shared services agreement between the Board of Education and Board of Commissioners for a before-after care program and for the use of facilities for township recreation and community programs. May I have a adopt resolution number 3? Second. Commissioner Montillo?
No.
Commissioner DiMaggio?
For.
Commissioner Jarvis? Mayor Gentile.
Four.
May I have a motion to adopt resolutions number 4 through 12 on consent? Motion?
Motion.
Second.
A second.
Commissioner Montillo?
For.
Commissioner DiMaggio?
For.
Commissioner Jarvis? Mayor Gentile.
Four.
May I have a motion to open the meeting to public comments on any items? Motion?
Motion made.
Second.
Second.
Commissioner Montillo?
For.
Commissioner DiMaggio? Commissioner Jarvis? Mayor Gentile. Comments?
You know, before we go to public comment, can I just make a brief statement on the taxes? Everyone? Over the next few weeks, taxpayers throughout New Jersey will be receiving their 2017 tax bill. The mailing of these tax bills was delayed this year due to the much publicized state budget impasse. The municipal portion of the tax bill is decreasing by 2%. We have implemented a real reduction in the taxes necessary to support the police department, roads, parks, and building the new junior high school. The direct municipal tax portion of the 2017 tax bill is declining by over 2%, but the state forced a formula-driven $129,449 increase in the library tax, which is absorbed within the township savings. The total tax savings in the 2017 budget is $864,285, and I must emphasize that the new junior high school design and plans are well underway and included within this number. Unfortunately, the county is increasing their taxes by $1,231,541, which wipes out the savings experienced in the township side of the equation. This county tax increase, due to the 2017 county budget increasing by over $6 million and the technical method of dividing taxes among the 70 towns in Bergen County. Thank you. Hopefully that answers some questions.
Any comments?
So my question is, Mr. Beneke, is how many points was the school board versus the town in the increase, not including the county, I saw that. You know what I mean by points, right? So, what?
Yeah, I'm not so sure.
2.90, it was 2.90, and I think last year was 2.82.
It's 2.90 this year.
Right.
It's 2.82 last year. We estimated that it would be somewhere in the neighborhood of 2.88. The municipality went down by about 3 points. The school board, give or take, went up about 3 points. The county went up approximately 5 points, or a little bit more. And the state library aid, as Commissioner Montillo indicated, went up about half a point. It rounds out, again, we don't play gotcha with the American John pennies from approximately 2.82 to approximately 2.90. At home, it's about a 2.25% increase in the taxes, which is still better than the state average this year. But still in all, we should have experienced a much lower reduction in the tax bill, given the fact that this Board of Commissioners worked hard to achieve almost $1 million in savings in the 2017 fiscal year budget, which is quite an accomplishment. When you look throughout the state this year, when the numbers are published in January and February, they'll probably be the lowest reduction of municipal taxes in the state of New Jersey. Can't guarantee it because there's always outliers. There's 565 towns. It'll be darn close.
Yeah, I predicted that. One question. What's going on with the settlement and the lawsuits that are any of the money going to the taxpayers that we have to pay out for what the insurance companies are not paying?
We've budgeted within the joint insurance fund and the other departments sufficient dollars to cover any exposure of those litigation issues.
And is that considered a debt service and be paid
No.
over a certain amount of time to the
No.
person?
No, it'll be all operating funds.
Okay, talking about videotaping the meetings and stuff, there are many laws to govern the right rights of the people of the state. And I just hope that when I didn't see this ordinance or really read into videotaping, I hope that you're within the rights of the people, because there's so many other groups that we can reach out to that can come in here and help us, because meetings are public meetings are for the people, and it's what we hold you guys accountable for. So let's all make be very, be communication very well.
Any other comments?
Okay. May I please close the meeting's public comment?
Motion made.
Second. Commissioner Monticello?
Four.
Commissioner Maggio? Four. Commissioner Jarvis? Four. Mayor Gingers? May I have a motion to adjourn?
Before we close, our next meeting will be changed from September 12th to September 13th. 75th year gala by Lyndhurst Emergency Squad. The meeting will be changed, same time, 6 o'clock, as usual, and it will remain at 6 o'clock.
May I have a motion to adjourn the meeting?
Motion made.
Second. Commissioner Monticello?
Four.
Yeah, I'm trying to get the comments about the agenda items discussed.
Are you done with the meeting again?
Okay, I have a motion to open the meeting to public comment.
Motion made.
Second.
Commissioner Monticello?
Four.
Commissioner Maggio?
Four.
Commissioner Jarvis? Mayor Gingers?
Yes, before I finish that statement on the next meeting, special meetings will be at 10 o'clock in the mornings, and regular meetings will be at 6 p.m. Thank you.
Okay, so first I would like just to introduce myself. I'm sure we are very popular with the mayor, Mr. Mayor, Amani Hana Allah and Shahid Carlos. We live on 311 Wilson Avenue in Lyndhurst. And I just would like to share a little statement regarding some problem we have been experiencing for 2 years now. I'm gonna just read my notes because I don't want to miss any of my points I would like to discuss. And the problem is regarding the feeding the wildlife and why it's a problem. So let me start by saying this was not an issue years ago. But within the last 2 years, now we are having issue, and the issue is getting worse and worse. And the problem, or the reason is our neighbor puts about 5 pounds of bird food every day that now attracts not only hundreds of birds, but other types of birds such as pigeons. We also started seeing raccoons, groundhogs, squirrels feeding as well. Overfeeding has led also to a large group of birds congregating on the neighbor property, on our property, on phone or cable wires, which creates environmental problem and started to damage our property. I think any sensible person would agree that surely feeding a large amount of birds and pigeons may cause problems for neighbors. It's only a matter of time now before feeding these birds also invite mice, rats, and like I said, we started seeing them, including some dead birds. We have seen in our property last year we had 14 dead birds in our swimming pool. This year so far we have at least 2 dead birds. I would like also to mention something that is very well established, that feeding enhances the spread of diseases and parasites and may compromise a health issue not only to humans but also to non-target species. And like I said, we had some dead birds last year and this year. It seems that our house is directly in the flight path of the birds and seem to be the most affected by the birds and pigeon presence. We have bird poop everywhere, on the fence, on the deck, on the swimming pool cover. Unfortunately, we were not able to open our swimming pool this year. We are not able to enjoy our backyard due to the constant droppings we have everywhere. And by the way, we tried to hire a company to help us clean this mess, and they said they charged us $1,500 in the beginning and $55 every month to maintain the cleanness of our property.
If the guy continues with the birds.
I just would like you to show you this video in 1 minute.
We've all
We
been,
will receive that, sir.
you sent it to the town.
No,
There's
this is
actually one more
different. This is
recent
with
review,
rapport.
it shows
I'm going to show you the
groundhog.
groundhog.
One at a time.
I'm going to show you groundhog, and the groundhog, he has big area. He will go exactly to the location where he ground feeding. And you can see how much bird is coming out from that groundhog. Okay? So that's above and beyond. Who here would like to have groundhog in his backyard? And actually, today, 6 p.m., another groundhog. It is above and beyond. And I was kind of, he have violation from Bergen County, which the judge, right now, he doesn't want to see because he have complaint, I have complaint against him. The judge put everything in one condition. He did not even respect that health department is different entity, and he's supposed to address it separate. And he said within 45 days, if I didn't hear from anybody, I will dismiss everything. And Laura Falcon issued again another violation. When I spoke to her, she told me Lyndhurst already have health inspector, and Lyndhurst should issue violations to this guy, and violation start whatever it's $100 first time, 500, and go up if he refuse to comply. I submit to you before, there is about 8 different diseases from bird to travel. And I don't have to put my life, my wife's life, in danger. And I give you different 8 town ordinance. It's all exactly the same. It's copy and paste. And this ordinance is exactly protecting everybody. He allows you to have bird feeder, not a problem, as long as you make sure you don't disturb anybody else. And I have no problem with my neighbor if he puts only one bird feeder in front of his front door, away from the backyard, which everybody has backyard and have table. We cannot go to our table, cannot use our swimming pool. There is nothing this year. I have 14 dead birds last year, and this year again, and I do not know where to go. And I was extremely disappointed from the town judge that he did not separate the two issues. Me and the other gentleman, we have complained against each other. It's totally different from health department, Bergen County Health Department issue evaluation. Why he combined the two cases? And why he did not address the problem? Because this is a problem.
Well,
I know you do not talk about the judge. That's okay.
Yeah,
But I would like Lyndhurst town to start.
They have ordinance in place to prohibit the the bird feeding and to
And
regulate
the
this
ground
kind of.
feeding,
Yeah.
all the bird is put in the ground. The ground feeding is
Commissioner
permitted.
Haggerty visited your premises, correct?
I'm sorry?
Commissioner Haggerty came to your house?
Yes, and she saw it and she cannot
That's
go.
the situation, beyond nuisance, we know that. I understand the Board of Health issued a summons or warning to the people, and should be followed up in a few days. They're still investigating it. Commissioner Haggerty should get in touch with them tomorrow, and she'll give you the details of what happened.
Okay, but now my understanding is that there are some kind of discussions that maybe a new ordinance
We
will
also
be
put during our
placed.
caucus session to have the township attorney look into some type of a feeding.
Because basically we have a file of at least 5-6 towns, they already have an ordinance in
We
place.
get it. I just get it.
Well, I'm gonna give it to Commissioner Haggerty tomorrow, the town attorney, and we'll come over to see about the feeding ordinance.
Yes, if we upgrade it, because this will protect all Lyndhurst. Lyndhurst is growing
So there's
town.
already an ordinance in place for regarding feeding the birds. We have an ordinance in the town.
We're gonna introduce one.
Yeah.
Right here.
We have-
The Board of Commissioners has authorized me to study the situation, to look at the model ordinances of other communities, to look at the health code, chapter 22 of the Lyndhurst Code of Ordinances, and to coordinate a more comprehensive and complete ordinance. So I'm being instructed to do that work, and given the situation, I will prioritize this.
Thank you so much. But actually, we done the research. Actually, all comes, it's basically the same ordinance, same wording. So there is no need like really to do like more like.
We don't want more than what the other company.
You're definitely going to.
There's a procedure, and the research, and then introduction and adoption. I understand what you're saying, there are non-ordinances, and I do not have to reinvent the wheel.
I am trying.
But we will,
So when we expect to see like a resolution on this, because it's been 2 years now.
and we will look to do the resolution, but the law requires a procedure.
Okay,
So it should be introduced at the September meeting,
okay,
and will be adopted at the following.
okay. So then September meeting come, is gonna be a discussion about
That's a very
the ordinance.
Will be introduced and
Thanks so much.
Okay,
Thank you so much.
okay.
Contact Commissioner Aguilar.
Yeah, please. We would like to see enforcement from Lyndhurst, and this is to protect the people.
Okay.
It's an example, you saw it start.
Yes.
Actually, yeah, she came to our house last week and she's seen it for herself. And she was really very disgusted, to be honest.
Thank you so much.
Thanks so much. Thank you.
You have comments? Yes.
I am getting faster.
Mary Mackintosh, 211 Kingsland Avenue. I have a couple of things. Last time I discussed Roundup with you people, and I said it was going to be a problem.